All this about some absence. All this about some... This episode features some bourbon, and there's Buffalo Trace up in here. It's one of the perks about living in Kentucky. You get good bourbon. Something Bunkum, episode 10, a melody making. Should have probably called it harmony making, because really in this clip what you're going to see is me making harmonies. So normally when you think of the melody of a song, you think of like the main line, the thing that you remember, or trying to remember that song, or that piece of the song that gets stuck in your head, the theme of the song, like bum 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 bum. There's this other thing in music, and first of all, I by no means am a music theoretician, okay? I do have some training, some classical training, but bear that in mind when I say these things. There's a thing called counterpoint. And a counterpoint melody is something where you have, let's say you have a duet, so two singers singing. Both of them will have a melody, but the melodies interlace. They're independent of one another. That's what I'm going for in this song. So maybe I should tell you what I'm actually doing. Right. I've been making an album. One of the songs is called Embrace. It's one that I wrote. I kind of started getting crazy with it, making it a bit of a pop song in Garageband. I'm messing with that with this sort of interim audio upgrade. The piece that I started recording and decided to make this episode is just the chorus, me trying to figure out that harmony / counterpoint. This is the process. Here we go. Coldest shoulders, coldest wind. This line tugs on stuff. It makes me mad. Oh, this about some absence. Coldest shoulder is coldest wind. That's kind of okay, but... Oh, this about some absence. Coldest shoulder is coldest wind. Oh, this about some... Shit. It's 2 beats. 2 measures in. My bad. Calling out this cold attack. So what I'm doing here is I'm reviewing the recording to find the melody. I'm also testing the setup that I have. It can be quite tedious actually, because you have to listen to it over and over and over. I was doing so on my computer speakers rather than my stereo speakers. I don't really have a good reason why I wasn't using my stereo speakers. I will say they're stereo speakers, not monitors. And there is a big difference between the two. Suffice to say, stereo speakers make all your music sound good, and you don't want that when you're monitoring music. You want to hear that flat sound. You don't want to accentuate the basses or the mids or the highs so that you can tell what's not balanced. I don't really have that set up yet. Anyway, you'll hear me, or you'll see me kind of messing around with all of that pronto. Honest discussion pushes back, calling out this cold attack. Ooh. I kind of went flat there a couple times. It's like it's more percussive than it is musical, but it's supposed to be a harmony or something. Like, I like the idea of it. See, there's this little percussive, it's not percussive, it's this staccato synth that's in there that I really want to match up really nice. I'm probably making it too much difficult. Too much difficult. Probably making it too difficult. Brought to you by the Half Bite IPA from West 6th Brewery. Ha ha ha. This might be tedious. This is going to be tedious. Oh, it will be tedious. All this about some absence. Coldest shoulder is coldest wind. Honest discussion and push us back. Calling out this cold attack. You know, it's cool, but it doesn't... It's a strange thing. I think someone with better theory would know what I'm doing and then why I don't like it. I had a really cool harmony, and I forgot it. So I'm trying to make one up on the fly, and I don't like it. I'm gonna record it and see what happens. Coldest shoulder is coldest wind. Honest discussion gonna push us back. in just general performance, whether it's a cappella performances, you know, with a choir or a quartet like Barbershop, or a chamber choir or a rock band or solo. There's this idea of energy while performing, you know, for a crowd and energy while practicing, or energy while recording. Generally, when you're recording, you're doing it in a bubble. You've got the microphone in your face, you get the headphones on, the pop filter, you're in this tiny room with like egg crate everywhere. There's someone out there, hopefully, helping you actually mix and record, so you don't have to do that and you can focus on what you're doing. But they're watching you and they're waiting, and you need to get that take, right? That's a far cry from practicing, where you're really in your headspace and you're trying to be creative, and then from actually performing, where you have all that practice time, you know what you're doing, it's like in your DNA, to quote John Windsor-Cunningham. Anyway, this idea of having that energy pushed back on you. There's actually a pretty good interview, I believe, just as a sidestep, with Jack White about performing music has changed a lot over the years. It has been a bit of a trial for me to do the same thing throughout. So the same during performance, the same during recording, the same during practice. For me, it's very different energies. So for example, this right now is a bit of performance, right? This isn't me, right? You know, I don't talk to people like this all the time. It'd get pretty tiring, and it is. And it's the same thing with this kind of recording for the song. Despite me going pretty full on in this next piece, to record this and get this take, were I in front of a crowd, man, it'd be a different energy. And that's a whole different ball game, different understanding. Be a really good discussion for another something Bunkum. Enjoy.
All this about some absence.
Alex.
Coldest shoulder is coldest well. Honest discussion gonna push us back. I'm calling out this cold attack.
You know, I like the very beginning. Oh, Garageband, you slut. Beer makes me burpy. All this about some absence. Coldest shoulder is coldest when. 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 I don't know if that's good or not. I can't tell.
All this about some absence. Coldest shoulder is coldest well.
No. Something wrong there.
Coldest shoulder is coldest well. All this about some absence. Coldest shoulder is coldest well. Honest discussion that pushes back.
So I'm not really sure if I should go super high here, because that's a B, and that's pretty high for me. That B is pretty high for me. I mean, on an average day, I'm doing an E mixed voice, and I can go higher, but maybe not while drinking beer. It's probably not the best thing to be doing while I record. By the way, normally when I do this, I don't segment it. Normally I do it in like whole verses or choruses or whatever. But for the purposes of this video, I think it makes sense to do it segmented. And honestly, when recording, why the hell wouldn't you, right? I need to redo this.
Honest discussion that pushes back. Honest discussion that pushes back.
No.
Honest discussion that pushes back.
No.
Honest discussion that pushes back.
Huh.
All this about some absence. Coldest shoulder is coldest when. Honest discussion gonna push us back.
Maybe, because it's that counterpoint. I want it to be counterpoint. All this about some absence. Coldest shoulder is coldest when. Honest discussion gonna push us back. I'm calling out this cold attack. Calling out this cold attack. maybe. All this about some absence. Cold as shoulders, cold as wind. All this discussion gonna push us back. Calling out this cold attack. I think that's it. All this discussion gonna push us back. Calling out this cold attack. Pew! Alright, well, let's try it one more time. This time I think I'm just gonna do it with the music, because I think part of the reason that I'm not getting it, one, is because I've not practiced it, but two, because I'm kind of riffing off of the music when I'm singing it, in the main line. Coldest shoulder is fucking... Damn it, don't son of a bitch. That's not what I wanted, that's not the melody. I forgot it. Oh no. I'm gonna listen to it again. You know, to be completely honest, listening to the music with it, the harmony's cool. Probably doesn't go. It's not that it's a bad harmony, it's that it's probably not right for the song. But we'll see. All this about some absence. Yeah, oh yeah. Coldest shoulders, coldest wind. Oh yeah. All this discussion will push us back. Oh yeah. I'm calling out this cold attack. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Explosion twice. Okay. Sometimes what is good is not good for the song. It's that simple. You can come up with an amazing guitar line, drum line, bass line, whatever, and man, it sounds cool, it works within the key, it's interesting, but if you're doing like a certain feel, like a bluesy feel, and suddenly you go into like space, if it doesn't work for the song, then you have to quote Stephen King, or to paraquote Stephen King, sometimes you have to kill, you know, your baby. That's not the quote. Sacrifice your baby upon the altar of all of Cthulhu. Nug Shigarath Ei Cthulhu Fatagan. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to put your baby to sleep. What the fuck is that? Sometimes you have that cannot be it. Kill your darling. Way darker the way that I remembered it. Shit. Yeah, sometimes you have to kill your darling. That's basically what I was doing here. I thought the line was very cool, but in the end, I've got to work on it. Does it sound good? Maybe. I thought that parts of it sounded good, but I don't think it works for the song. Especially the song in this format with this kind of production. Maybe it would work acoustically, which is how the song is actually supposed to be written, or how the song was written and how it's supposed to be performed, maybe with another voice or something. But with this sort of like, it doesn't work really well. Maybe I could make it work, but there I will digress. So it's that second piece rubs on the bass. That's first. So if I could get my vowels right, it'd be great. But it's the bass. It's the bass! It's not working with the bass. There's one note, it's on the second bit, that really like goes, whoa, what's up? And I don't know what it is. I need to get ProTools. Not trying to diss GarageBand, but there's so many automations you just can't do. Also linear editing. Do we have it? All this about some absence. Now, of course, the mix is wrong. The mix is mixed. Oh, there's about some absence. Coldest shoulders, coldest when. It's cool. It feels cool. But, I don't know, it's probably too much. Okay, this has been me doing a melody line of the song that I wrote. As I just said, that's the audio... Redo. Okay, so as I just said, that is Something Bunkum number 10, melody making, and hopefully it was a little bit informative, at the very least, for you to see my process as I'm creating. It was for me. Apparently I dance like kind of like a weird, fucked up gorilla when I write music and record. Great. Next episode will be the audio upgrade part 2. I probably shouldn't say that because I might change it, but I think it will be that. Woo!